Welcome to the Leverage Hacker Podcast, a life-transforming podcast with your host, David Dom. Welcome to a world where the status quo is merely a starting point and conventionality a path left untraveled, a place where boundaries are pushed, minds are expanded, and new realities are shaped. We're all too familiar with the age-old paradigm of trading time for money. It's an arduous cycle that does more than just burn us out. It impacts our relationships, our health, our sense of fulfillment. It leaves our partners feeling neglected, our ambitions on the back burner, and our life just a series of monotonous transactions. But here's the game changer. With David, you'll learn how to play by new rules. Rules that challenge these norms, that maximize your efforts by applying leverage. You're not just working harder, you're working smarter. Welcome to the Leverage Hacker Podcast.
Hello, my fellow leverage hackers. David Dom here. Just a quick interruption to let you know that this episode is sponsored by Leverage Hacker News, where I share all of the leverage hacks, software, automation, AI, and content creation strategies that I use personally. You can subscribe at leveragehacker.com/newsletter. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of the episode. All right, my friends, I want to speak with you about some basically doing things that you're not comfortable with. Okay? Doing things that we aren't comfortable with. A lot of times, the things we're not comfortable with, we've never done before. And I just want to tell you, if you don't know this already, if you've never done something before, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. It's just the way it is. So, knowing that, keeping that in mind, just follow along with me here, because I know that you've probably seen that. You've seen a version of a meme maybe that says, you know, it's like a circle and there's all these things in it, and then it's labeled comfort zone, right? And then outside the comfort zone, there's all this good stuff. And really it's true. You know, all the good stuff is outside our comfort zone. And the reason is because, you know, if we're stuck in a rut and we're doing the same thing over and over again, and, you know, we're not looking to change anything, then yeah, I mean, we feel like this little bubble of comfort is, you know, is the right place for us. Or, you know, and here's the two, I'll share two of the most dangerous, two of the most dangerous things that you could ever say. Excuse me. And one of them is, I know that already. And the other one is, that's just the way I am. So if you find yourself saying either one of those things, check yourself, and here's why. If you say, that's just the way I am, what you're saying is, that's my pattern, that's what I've done, that's my habit, and I'm not willing to change. It's good for me. It's okay. It's just the way I am. Well, that just means that you're not willing to change or grow or learn and become better or, you know, anything like that. It's kind of asinine. And the other one is, if, you know, it's just the way I am, and then I know that already. And the reason that that's dangerous is because just because we're different people, we should be different people, like every day, every week. Definitely, we're not the same person we were last month. For sure not last year, right? Or 5 years ago. If we're not growing, we're dying. We always want to be focused on growing and learning and becoming more. Now, sometimes we get into that, you know, we get into that, you could call it a rut. We get into that easy, comfortable thing. And the reason I'm sharing all this with you is because if you're considering earning extra income from home, I can tell you right now, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars easy on different ways and things to make money from home, and some of them worked and some of them didn't. But I could tell you now, there's none of them that I did that I'm actually making money from now, except one specific side hustle. Well, that's not true, couple, but nothing from years gone by. Okay, for the past decade, I've been dealing with a lot of personal things, but also, buying courses, learning more things, trying to create a business. And here's the thing. I want to create a life I don't need a vacation from. Okay? You might just hate your job and you want to replace that 9 to 5 income with something else. And you don't mind replacing it with something that is kind of like a job because you just hate that other one so much. For me, I'm looking to create a life I don't need a vacation from. So I'm looking to find some things that can actually earn money, create revenue, but that don't take up all my time. My entire focus is about leveraging everything I can. Leveraging automation, AI, different things that I can use that will help me reach my goals faster. I don't want to work 40 or 50 hours a week on something. I just don't. It's not necessary. I was literally going over all my stuff and I'm putting out more content, and I was thinking, well, how long is this going to take? Right? How long is this going to take me? Because I don't want to do it if it's going to take, X amount of time. There's something to be said for being able to say, okay, well, I could do this work one time, and then I can use this program, this software, this automation, which is now, by the way, more prevalent than ever. I can use the software to multiply my efforts and or create. I'll give you an example. I'm kind of getting off topic here and I don't want to. So let me get back. Whenever you feel like that you don't want to do something because you've never done it before, just push through it. Just push through it. I could give you a really good example of that. Is I just literally started a side hustle 4 months ago, and it's like my 5th month, and it's made me over 15 grand. And honestly, when I started, transparently, I didn't even know if it was going to work. Because again, I've done a lot of stuff. I wouldn't say I'm cynical, but I'm realistic. And I know that sometimes people are just telling you what you want to hear, so you'll buy their stuff. It's very rampant. But if you've never done something before, like I hadn't done this before, so I did a little bit of it just to see if it was legit or real, and I actually made some money, and I was like, holy moly, this is real, this is legit. So I started focusing my efforts on it even more. And so if I hadn't have done that, it was out of my comfort zone, totally. I'd never done it before. So if I hadn't done it, I wouldn't have that income, which then created an opportunity for me to look at everything else that I want to do. Not have, because that money, most of that money was made while I was asleep or doing other things, because it's a situation where I do the work one time and then continue to make money off of that on an ongoing basis. But it's worth it. I mean, I'm speaking to people right now, a lot of people that are going to resonate with my content and what I'm doing are people that might have a 9-to-5 job, but I'll give you an example. Like, let's say my brother's a Marine, and as far as computer skills go, he's a neophyte. I know that sounds horrible, but it really just means somebody that's brand new to something. And I'm working with him right now, but there has to be a willingness. There has to be a willingness to actually do something. You're willing, I accept the fact that I want to make a change. I also accept the fact that this isn't going to feel comfortable, So sometimes, I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody wants to start, doing the side hustle I'm working on. So they're going to record short little videos on their phone and then upload them to this massive marketplace, right? First thing out there, the first thing, it's basically it's imposter syndrome, and then it's fear. It's fear. Give you an example. I'm going to do a video. Well, it's fear. I'm afraid of what people are going to think. I'm afraid of what I look like on camera, which is silly because you look like what you look like, and it is what it is. I mean, if you don't like the way you look, maybe, you might want to do some other things. That's a whole nother lesson. The point is, it's okay. Don't be afraid. And if you are afraid, it's a normal thing. Just push through it. Do it anyway. Because what will happen is is that over time, the more you do something, the easier it'll get, the more comfortable it'll become. But I can assure you that most things that are really good are outside of your comfort zone. So if you haven't ever done something before, it doesn't mean you can't. Your past doesn't equal your future. We have every kind of tool available to man basically now that we have access to now. We could do anything we want. We could get any information we want. I mean, it was crazy enough when you could just Google something, because you could either Google it or go to their partner site, YouTube, and you could YouTube it. You could find step-by-step instructions on how to do just about anything on YouTube. And now we have ChatGPT and other AI tools that are built using that technology, and it's almost limitless. If you ever saw that movie Limitless, where the guy takes the pill and his brain is on fire and he can use 100% of his brain instead of 2% or whatever, that's what's going on right now. So just know that, and know that embracing new things is not a bad thing. And even though it's uncomfortable, or you might be fearful, or you feel, scared, it's okay. Just do it anyway. Do it anyway, and then after you do it, you're going to feel better. And that's just the way it is. So as far as feeling fearful of doing new things, jump out there, man. I'm not saying go jump out of a plane. I personally like to keep both feet on the ground. But if you're looking to create an income, you're looking to create, replace your 9-to-5 income, it's going to take some time. There are nefarious things you could do out there, and you could sell a product for 10 grand to somebody, and you could make 5 grand for an affiliate commission. But what is it you're selling? What is that? Not only that, but you got to sell it. So there's a process involved there too, So anyway, this is just a lesson about, hey, if you feel like you don't know how to do something, you can find out how to do it. And then if you're just fearful about how you're going to feel and what you're going to look like, or just do it anyway. Do it anyway. And there are other ways. You don't have to be on camera, but creating content these days is a learned skill, and it can lead you down the path of whatever you decide you want to do. Maybe that's replacing your income. So it's doable. Go get it. Do something you're afraid of today.
As we close this vibrant chapter of the Leverage Hacker podcast, remember, you're the author of your own life story. The struggles, the triumphs, they're all yours to claim. It's time to step back into your world, but with a transformed outlook. Remember, the matrix is an illusion. The true power resides in you. Go out there, live life on your terms, and continue to color outside the lines. Until next time.